Man,
take.
was I terribly wrong.
He won't fit in well, except he's doing really well during the playoffs.
Him and Suzuki.
Suzuki, I thought that he would be he'd be good in the NHL.
Yeah.
But dude, 5'8".
Hey, short king.
He's got the smallest stick out there, bro. Looks like he's got a peewee stick.
St. Louis did it. He could do it.
Right?
Yeah, but St. Louis, Martin St. Louis had like legs that were like fucking tree trunks, though. Did you see his calves?
Yeah.
Looked like he had like a whole ham down there, dude.
Yeah, true.
Is your father a meat burglar? Because it looks like he stole 2 fine hams and shoved them down the back of your dress. You guys have seen that movie, right? Fucking Ladies Man.
It's been a long time, but yeah.
It's the Ladies Man.
Mm.
You take the taco shells and the taco meat.
What a song.
5 people taco night. DD Mega Doo Doo.
What the fuck was that? I saw you sent that video. I didn't watch it yet.
Oh, dude. Oh, watch it, dude.
All right.
Watch it right now.
I'll watch it when I start the intro. The longer intro is nice, but the cool thing is, Zach, I think we can do like a weight screen now that we have the I gotta give access to Scott, by the way. We'll talk. We already started live. We'll talk after.
Okay. Sounds good.
I got Place It, and it has access to a whole bunch of Twitch stuff and streaming stuff.
Okay.
We can do like a weight screen.
Hey.
I have to look into it, but it's possible.
Hey.
Once I get alerted on the Twitch app.
Oh, look at that, dude. Beer Captain got some Coronado all the way up in...
I know. I saw that.
And what is he, Winnipeg or whatever?
Yeah.
Ooh, watermelon margarita. That sounds bomb.
Bro, did you see the margarita I had yesterday?
I'm just looking through what's on tap right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got Peach Cruiser from Coronado?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I was at Margaritaville yesterday morning. Or lunch.
Damn.
What the fuck? Did it alert? Come on, you fucking app.
I was going to say, I didn't see the alert pop up. There you go. There's Stream Elements.
Oh, okay. Yep. There. Oh. Did it go? Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I just sent that to me.
John went wide. He got filled in. Just about chipped out from his hair. Big hit by Brooks. Burying Byram in the corner. With Yevich, Lindgren. Truba, a real solid hit on Barzell. What a hit by Bortuzzo. He runs right over Athanasiou. Corner allowing Connor, but he gives it away. And McDavid's got a breakaway for a hat trick. He's in on net. He shoots it. Surgeon. Here's Kaprizov dangling. Driving. He scores.
That's a hockey, you know, it's only a game. Why do you have to be mad? He's a good guy. He may be tired to live here and because here is the November month is a minus 32. Could you imagine?
The long wait is over. The countdown is on. 3, 2, 1. It's over.
Oh, welcome in, Plugs and Thugs. Episode 100.
100, baby.
100. We out here. We out here for episode 100. You know.
Yes, sir.
But playoff hockey is going on. before we get into all of that awesomeness, welcome Scott back.
Hi, I'm here again.
First of all,
Not dead.
how young were you in that picture of Davies, bro? Were you like 13?
Dude, that's such an old picture. That was like from my Instagram.
Yeah, we need you to give
Like,
him a
way
more
back.
updated.
I got
picture.
you. Yeah,
That'd be great.
Also,
Yeah.
what is Dave's picture?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. All right. So back in the day, bro. Back in the day, we used to. Me and a roommate had a house up here in where we live, and we used to party, all this stuff, whatever. I don't know where that blonde wig came from, but that blonde wig was like a meme back then, dude. Like you would just come, like I would come out of like my room like completely drunk, dude, just absolutely drunk, wearing that fucking wig. Like, hey, what's up, guys?
So it was
Hey.
something that got passed around as like a kind of an inside joke type thing. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool though. Yeah, so we're back. We took a week off last week. We're all busy. I mean, that's what
was I doing
happened
last week. Oh, last week
And it
was
was a
Memorial
holiday.
Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Last week was Memorial Day. Yeah, that is correct. We were all kind of busy doing things, and that's what happens when stuff starts to open up a little bit, and we're fully
Ooh.
vaccinated, so we've been able to do a little bit of
We're
things.
fully vaxxed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
waxed. Dude, I just got back.
Vaxxed and waxed, bruh.
Just got back from San Diego today.
Yeah, I've already went to Universal twice.
Hey, goddamn.
Yeah, it's nice.
How many butter beers have you drank?
I only had one last time. I usually, the funny thing is my wife usually gets them, and then I'll just have a little bit of hers because I'd rather purchase a beer there.
Yeah.
So, I did realize that next time I think I'm going to do a butter beer and also buy a shot from the Harry Potter bar there.
Oh, they sell shots?
Yeah, you could I'll put a shot in the fucking butter beer.
Hey, hell yeah, dude.
That would be good.
But what kind of beer is the butter beer?
Oh, it's not beer. It's non-alcoholic. That's why it's butterscotch cream soda and something else.
What kind of
Root
shots do they sell?
They actually have they have a bar where they have like whiskey and Fireball and vodka. They just name it other
shit.
things. I mean, they have a full other bar, but where you get the frozen butter beers, it's a Harry Potter themed bar, so it has like, I don't really know what alcohols they have, but they name them shit. But I know they have whiskey, so that would be good in there. But yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
As always, social medias along the bottom there. Give us the follows. Twitch, NZHL. That's where you can, subscribe.
That's where you can find me.
And follow. We also have our In the Neutral Zone Hockey Podcast YouTube that is also located at the bottom.
Yeah.
And one of these days we'll start actually posting on Instagram again. We haven't done that since we just went basically exclusive on live stream. I think the last post we did was when we had Colin on.
Honestly, man, I'm terrible at social media. Dude.
I know. Scott and I used to do it.
I don't ever
I'm
post.
so bad at it now.
Yeah.
I don't ever post. I don't give a shit. If people get see what I'm doing.
Well, yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, I notice I always post on the story or on Discord now, or my Instagram story. But I looked at my Instagram and the last actual post, even on my own Instagram, is I think we had Colin on. It was back in November or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
But yeah. So yeah, all the follows are down there. You can also find Zach and
you can find me and Dave on the Zach and Dave Make a Podcast. We actually
you guys did one last week.
We did.
It was awesome.
I think we might record one this week too, where I think we might have Joe on the show, talking about being an old man doing CrossFit.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, just to see the physical tolls of being old, because he's old as shit,
Old as shit. Yeah.
And then you can also find me and Dave on the Dungeons and Dummies podcast. I actually think we're moving time slots. I think we're moving to Wednesdays. Yeah, Wednesdays at 6. Yeah, Wednesdays at 6. Yeah,
That'll be cool.
Because weekends are difficult, man. Dude, before, like during COVID times, I was
Yeah, it
not
didn't
busy
matter.
on the weekends at all.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Sundays, I'm wide open, bro. Fuck yeah, let's do whatever. But dude,
Yeah.
like this past month, when it comes to like Sundays or just the weekends, I'm just gone. I'm
I know.
doing things, dude. It's been crazy.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, Sundays are a little bit. I don't know. I don't so much avoid scheduling things on Sundays because I'd rather kind of relax. But it just seems like I do most of the stuff on Fridays and Saturdays. But I don't think it matters at this point. It's like weekends are going to be tough. The stuff is going to start opening up. You're at least going to do something, whether it's going to lunch and.
I mean, this upcoming weekend, I know we have the draft for NZ. So if you haven't yet, you can't sign up anymore. Sorry about that. But yeah, we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the NZ draft this upcoming Sunday.
Well, you can sign up. You just won't make a roster.
Nope, you won't make a roster at all. They're going to be randomly assigned. That's right.
No, late. I think what we decided was late signups are just going to be like, instead of having to pull people from other teams, they'll just be free agents that we can do for last minute.
For TCs.
fill-ins.
Yeah. Good idea. So yeah, we're doing the draft on Sunday. I'll actually be there for that. I was supposed to go fishing this upcoming Sunday, but we kind of canceled.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I was. My computer's still not here, so you might have to be the one that's sharing your screen.
Oh, for the draft? Yeah.
Because it'll just work better. Because I'm on a. Yeah, you just have to hide Clout World. That's all.
I just hope Clout World doesn't come up, dude.
Yeah, don't get us paid.
Big horny.
We plugged everything. Oh, and then media show. We actually have to do a media show this week too because we have a draft on Sunday. So it'll be a quick one. I'm thinking probably a 30-minute show. But we gotta at least do one. It's been 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yeah, you can catch me and Daniel on that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we'll be there. But yeah, so we got through all that. Our normal BSing as we start, as everybody should be accustomed to. But we have lots to get through. We didn't record last week. We're not going to go back through all the shit we didn't get to cover because that would be boring.
Unless it was like important shit.
Yeah, one of those topics will come up
rather shortly.
Yes. But yeah, let's jump into it. We're in this shit. I don't even know round. We're in the second round, right? Yeah. Yeah, we're in the second round in full swing. Second rounds are wrapping up actually. But before we get into covering each and every one of the series, our thoughts, we actually have some discussion points. Lots has happened over the last several weeks. Some we've covered, but since we did not talk at the end of the first series between the Colorado Avalanche and who the fuck did they play in the first round?
Blues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as we talked about, Nazem Kadri, he had hit and a hearing was upcoming. He ended up being suspended 8 games during the playoffs.
Mega doo-doo.
So 8 games.
Hi.
In the playoffs. We're talking, we just touched on Nazem Kadri getting his 8 games after the high hit against the Blues.
Oh, he fucking deserved that shit, dude.
Yeah. It's like, why he keeps doing it. He keeps getting suspended.
Keeps doing it, but the thing that he keeps doing is headshots, bro. He keeps leading with his elbow into people's fucking heads.
Yeah, it's dangerous. High speed.
This guy is a motherfucking idiot, dude. How much money the league has lost to paying out, former players, employees, former employees who has CTE and shit like that now, and their families because their husbands, their sons, their brothers killed themselves because of CTE, and then all the fucking things that they've done to combat head trauma now, and you still want to act like that, dude, like a fucking jamoke.
Yeah, and the thing is you can make a mistake, but at this point, it's not a mistake. Not only has he done this before, he's done it in the playoffs before. That was the 3rd time in the playoffs, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. Yeah.
It was 2 years ago, and then I want to say it was something with the Leafs. I can't remember.
Oh, for sure with the Leafs. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the thing is that's the crazy part. Like, people are like, oh, did he deserve 8 games? I mean, and they're playoff games. I understand that's a lot. And it's significant playing time when we always kind of talk about this. They say one playoff game is equivalent to like 2 or 3 regular season games. The
Mhm.
problem is he's done it. This is the 3rd time in the playoffs.
Yep.
And last time he was suspended 5 games. And the rule is it kind of, progresses. When you do it again, you don't learn your lesson, the punishment gets worse. So, I mean, they're not going to go to 6 games because, I mean, why? Make it a real point.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
you're gonna fuck around and find out, dude. Like, we're not playing around. You're gonna go 5 games.
Yeah.
You're going 8 now, and now you're fucked. Now you're missing out on potentially 2 series. I think he's actually. So that happened in game 1 or 2 of the first series. I think it was game 2.
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
So does he serve the suspension coming into next season? Yeah, right.
If they.
Colorado
Oh,
loses.
yeah.
What are you talking about? They're So they've already done. So I think he's already served. So they beat the Blues in 4. They swept the Blues.
Yep.
So he
That's
served
2
2
games.
there, and he's already 4 here. So he's got 2 more games left. So if Avalanche are able to get into the next round, then he'll be back because that series has already played 4 games, and they're split. I mean, we're not going to get into it yet, but it's 2-2, so they have to win. Each team has to win 2 more games. So there's potential he could come back, but realistically, when it comes down to it, we're just hoping he learned his lesson. At this point, I don't know that he has. He's almost more stupid than Tom Wilson at this point.
Yes.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Because Tom Wilson at least went like 2 years, 3 years without a significant incident, which is why he wasn't considered a repeat offender. But
Yeah.
Kadri seems to do it every fucking year.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like,
I just thought it was laughable that some people excused that hit and didn't think he deserved to be suspended that long. I just couldn't believe it.
yeah. I mean, that's the
Now, on
thing
the
is-
flip side of that,
Yeah.
we'll transition
Yeah.
this just because they're playing each other now. The Ryan Reeves suspension, I don't think he deserved a suspension for that at all, man. I think that was a bit harsh and stupid. If you're not going to give Tom Wilson a fucking suspension for shit that happens after the whistle, then why would you give Ryan Reeves one?
I think it was dirty, and I think it definitely warranted a penalty. Like, it could have even potentially warranted a game misconduct, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about suspension in that.
I mean, I didn't even see like the full video of it, but
Didn't
I'll
it
look it up.
happen at the very end of the game, though? And that's what people were saying. It happened at the very end of the game. So usually they will excuse and they won't suspend when you miss a significant amount of the game.
Yeah.
But it happened in the last couple of minutes of that game that was out of hand. And it basically would have been like just serving a penalty, which I think it was a little bit more egregious than that. I even think maybe if there is a suspension, I think a 1-game suspension would have been fine. 2, I don't know if it's completely excessive because, again, if you watch the video, it's pretty bad. You're literally like he dragged him down and he's putting his knee aggressive, like he was pushing down on his knee on the guy's head.
Yeah.
Was
It
he?
was
though?
like right on the side of his head.
Right on the side of his head. You could see him like putting weight on it too. You see his knee move down.
Well, that might be because everybody was fucking bunching up around him, dude.
I mean, it's tough to say, but like at the same time, he could have just been upright. Like it was a situation that he caused. And
Is
then
there
he
another
ended up
camera
doing
angle?
that.
He caused it. I think there was a ton of camera angles, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you're saying, he caused the incident, which realistically at that point, if you're causing the whole incident anyways, and that scrum to ensue, and then you have the knee on his head, I think a suspension is.
See, the knee on the head, though, dude, like now that I'm watching it, it's people pushing from behind, and he's like trying to like prop himself up and stuff like that. I don't think he purposely put his knee on the dude's head.
I don't know. I mean, I still think it was on purpose, just because the other thing too is the comments after the game. Reeves basically said he did it. He did it in retaliation.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he was admitting fault.
The cheap shot that Ryan Graves had on Matthias Janmark, dude. He hit him up way up high, dude. Hit him in the head.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that was a clean, that really of a clean hit either. But at the same time, when you're admitting to retaliating, I mean, that's already that's kind of admitting fault to like, yeah, I kind of intentionally did this whole thing. So when you're admitting fault to it, I still think that a suspension was warranted. Maybe not 2 games. I thought he was going to get 1. But
yeah, I can see a fine for that, dude. Like, it wasn't even that bad, to be quite honest.
I mean, the thing is for me, it's like, okay, even the suspension, 1 game, because again, it could be like you said, it's kind of, did he do it on purpose? Did he not? I mean, I think he kind of did, just because admitting fault, saying he retaliated and caused the whole thing on purpose.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that. With that logic, though, it doesn't necessarily mean that he put his knee on the guy's head on purpose.
No, maybe not. But
no, yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean that he necessarily did it on purpose, and we're not going to know what he meant to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, he did cause that situation. So regardless of if it happened by accident or not, it like what he did is what led to those events. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I mean, even a game, like I think a game would have been fine. 2, maybe a little bit too much, but at the same time, it's the wheel of the Department of Player Safety. I mean, at this point, we don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get 8 games for Kadri for something that
I think
was
these
warranted.
Are all
you're going to get a fine You're going to get a fine for Tom Wilson blowing a dude up illegally.
Yeah, I think these are all makeup calls for Tom Wilson. To be quite honest, they completely fucked that up, dude. Completely fucked that up. But what I was going to say, I find it funny that the people who were like, oh, no, Tom Wilson is fine, is now crying when Nazem Kadri gets suspended or when something like that happens to Ryan Graves, dude. It's just funny, man. It's funny. Like, you're all fine and dandy with Tom Wilson fucking suplexing fucking Artemi Panarin into the ice because he doesn't play for your team. But when it happens to your team, you want to fucking cry about it. Like,
oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't like any of it at all.
Yeah.
Ryan Reeves, personally, I don't think Ryan Reeves crossed the line really with anything, except I understand like the knee on the guy's head, whether or not it was intentional or not, that is dangerous, 100%.
Yeah. And he caught, like Scott said too, he caused the whole situation on purpose. So at that point, it's like domino effect. You caused this, what led to this.
No, but up until his head being on his knee, that's just an after the whistle scrum, dude.
Oh yeah, I think so. Because people try to argue like, oh, but he cross checks Grubauer, and it's like, okay, he cross checked the goal. But, like, who cares?
I mean, he did cross check him in the fucking neck too.
Yeah,
if you watch the replay, he cross checked him in the fucking neck.
Yeah, but it's just like at the same time,
cross check. I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
like it happens all the time, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
they're mucking it up. Oh, dude, it's playoff hockey, baby.
I know.
Playoff hockey, dude. It's playoff hockey.
So to talk about suspensions, there might be a suspension on Nick Ritchie after his hit on Mayfield's. Yeah, after today. Because, geez, did you guys see that hit?
No, I didn't see the hit. No.
So yeah, Mayfield was on his knees on the ice in the defensive zone, and Nick Ritchie was skating by him and just like ever so slightly stuck out his elbow and complete headshot.
Ooh,
I'm trying to find
it. I'll pull it up on Twitter and watch it. Yeah, that's super cool when you kind of put your arm out just to hit somebody.
Here, I can send you guys the link.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that's you know, that's never cool. But at the same time, the one I feel I'm sorry.
That's where
The one I
he
think they fucked up pretty bad. Not pretty bad.
wait. This one that you sent is just him ripping off Kyle Palmieri's helmet.
Skip to like 35, or no, skip to 34, and it shows it.
For all of you. Oh yeah, what a piece of shit.
Nick Ritchie, huh?
I never liked that guy, dude. I never liked him.
He has a
Yeah, that
punchable
shit was
face.
bad.
Baby Huey right there, dude.
Yo, what up, Adam?
Adam was cracking, dude.
Yo.
Welcome aboard.
But before we get into that one, there was another significant suspension that this one is kind of I think I want to discuss a little bit more. That's the Mark Scheifele play.
Oh yeah.
He gets 4 games for the absolute blow up of on the wraparound goal to seal it against Montreal in game 1. Yeah, that was in game 1, right? He absolutely obliterated him. It was a
Jake Evans.
Nick Evans, yeah.
Jake
Evans. Jake
Jake
Evans.
Evans. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the play goes, it's winding down the last minute and 10 seconds or so. Puck goes down. Jake Evans is going to score on the empty net.
You're down by
around.
1.
Yeah, down by 1.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Well, Montreal's up by 1.
Yeah, Winnipeg.
He goes to wrap, to basically seal it because it was going to be less than a minute. It's empty net. Mark Scheifele goes in, blows Jake Evans up completely. It was an interesting situation. I can see many perspectives on this. We saw many perspectives on this. I haven't heard from Scott on his perspective. So perspective on the hit first, the play and the hit.
So perspective on the hit, I mean, it was not including the obvious charging that was, it was a clean hit. Like the actual contact itself was clean, right? He just completely rocked his shit. I don't think the contact itself was actually. I don't think that was the dirty part.
He drove up,
elevated.
dude. He drove up into
he?
his head. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He hit his chest and then went into his head.
Okay. But I mean,
there's actually there is a still picture of where you can see Mark Scheifele is actually completely off. He's off the ice. Jumping.
Was it after he made contact though?
I think it was kind of bang bang. That was the interesting piece. Yeah. He may have came up because he hit him. He may have came up to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
In frustration.
So
Adam give your perspective and then
your perspective. Yep.
I think it was an extremely late hit. I think it's kind of ridiculous that a player of like Mark Scheifele's skill caliber didn't know to try to play for the puck first. Your stick's in front of you. You're able to try to at least make a play on that puck before you go for a check, especially in that scenario. So, like, to me, it just looked like he said, okay, fuck it, this guy's going to score, and I'm just going to make sure that it hurts. You know, and it's like with, 51 seconds left in the game?
Yeah, I think when it went in, I think it was like 53 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, and so I get it. Like, you're rushing, you're trying to save the goal because you're only down by 1 and you have a minute left. But at the same time, it was such a dumb way to go about that play. You could have done so many other things that would have potentially succeeded versus straight up just going for a check.
So my perspective is he never once tried to play the puck, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
He didn't try to prevent that goal. All he wanted to do was lay out Evans, dude. That's all he wanted to do.
Exactly.
And for that, he deserves the 4-game suspension that he got.
Especially when you consider the injury that happened to Evans.
What was the injury?
He has
Concussion.
a concussion.
So, I mean, be that as it may, it was a dangerous fucking hit, man. He skated the whole length of the rink
Yeah.
and led up at the hash marks. He's still fucking flying, dude.
Mhm.
And then he elevates up into the hit. Blows
It's
him
like
up.
it's the perfect definition of charging. It was the most obvious charging that you could have.
Granted, he stopped striding. I'll give him that. But he was still fucking flying, dude. He
Yeah.
traveled a great distance to make that hit.
Yeah, and that was the update they made to the rules. So, my perspective on the play, I also agree. I think here he should have made an attempt, especially in the situation. He makes an attempt with the stick to poke it, whatever, anything like that. I think this is a different situation, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Even if he wanted to blow up Jake Evans, if he even fakes that he wants to try to stick check that, it looks like a more hockey play. If he even attempts to do that, we
Yeah, 'cause
wouldn't be
you're-
having this conversation. To be honest with you.
you're looking like at the very least, even if
You're
he
looking
fakes
to
it,
like you're trying to
you
prevent
make the play.
goal.
Like, yeah, you're like he's like I rushed to make the play and then I collided with him rushing to make the play. But
Correct.
you know, he went straight for the hit. He said this guy's probably gonna score, and then he just went straight for the hit.
Yeah.
I think I like what Adam said. Adam said I don't think he didn't know. I think he was just caught up in the moment and didn't think.
I think so too. So
Yeah.
this is what comes down for me. For me, they always look at this with a lot of these players and in these situations. They always look at the guy's history.
Mhm.
Mark Scheifele is not a repeat offender at all. He is
No.
known as a stand-up
No,
guy.
100%.
He's known
Yeah.
as a
100%.
great guy.
I don't,
A
and
great
even
teammate,
after
a
this,
great competitor.
don't think he's a dirty player.
No, I don't either.
No.
But
Mhm.
at the same time, he doesn't have any kind of history. No one would ever expect him to do something like this.
Mm-mm.
And I do agree. I think he got caught up in the moment. But at the same time, as smart and great of a player as Mark Scheifele is, for me, it's almost like a frustration thing. He wasn't thinking. He was frustrated and knew that goal was coming. And
Exactly.
instead of letting his instincts kick in and make a play for the puck, he just said, fuck it, went for the hit. I don't really want to debate on if he there were certain angles that it looks he launched. There's certain angles that don't. It's hard for me. The thing is a lot of people, it's the same thing when I look at the Tavares, Corey Perry incident. If you slow it down, that's what people try to do. Oh, he had time to jump out of the way. No, he didn't. It is a fast sport. He's going
Exactly.
so quick.
Yeah.
That situation, it looks
On
if you
ice,
slow
too.
if you slow everything down, you can pinpoint every different situation. You could see when Scheifele's in the air. I don't even want to debate that piece. My problem is he didn't make an attempt to go for that. You can say it was about to be in there or not. He should at least, like I'm saying, even if he wants to fake, like, hey, I was trying to go for it and I hit him, at least you have that to say, you know, to make it seem a little bit more like I didn't say, fuck it, I am laying this dude out, because that's what it looks like when you don't make an attempt for that puck. And for me, putting in his history and kind of the situation, like I understand he came from across the ice, but I do see the other perspective. Of course, he came from that end of the ice. The puck went that way. I saw that. Like, I totally get that. Of course, he's going to have to sprint all the way down there to even attempt to poke the puck. The problem is he didn't attempt, which in that case turns it into a dangerous play. I wouldn't call it a dirty play. I think it was a dangerous play. It was a lapse in judgment. It's not a dirty play. Scheifele's a stand-up guy. It was a very bad lapse in judgment. I think he deserved a suspension. Me personally, I thought he was going to get 2 games, and I would have been fine with it. 4 might be a little much because he has no history. Because now you're giving precedence that next time if he were to, whatever else, something else happens, just happenstance. Now you're saying at this point, now he's a repeat offender with a 4-game playoff suspension. And now you have to keep that in mind when you're ruling on hit. If something else were to happen, not that I'm not saying that it's going to, because he's not a dirty player. But if something happens now he has that on his record. And you have to rule off that, and the rule in their the way that their situation is, it's just like with Kadri. Kadri's thing went, it was higher. It was higher because he was already, he went from 5 games to 8 games. So now if he gets in trouble, it's 4 to what, 5, 6?
I don't know. I think it depends on. I think the reason that he got 4 was because of the injury that he caused.
That's the problem. I
Yes.
thought in the rule book is injury is not part of the ruling,
But
or it
I mean,
shouldn't be, because
but it
anything
should
could
though.
happen.
No, but it should though. Because if you cause an injury to somebody that keeps them out the rest of the series, why should you be able to come back and play that series?
But I'm just saying though, if he doesn't get injured now, I mean, if he falls different, I mean, you can't prevent how somebody falls or anything like that.
Yeah, you
That's what
can.
I'm saying.
Yeah, you can though. You can though, by not making a dangerous hit.
Yeah. So what I think,
yes.
I just think that it's like, I think, well, yeah, it's probably technically it shouldn't count. Like injuries should not count towards the ruling. At least
They always
like,
do.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're always going to. I think if he
Well, they
didn't
didn't for
injure
Tom
him on
Wilson.
the hit, true.
Injured
But yeah.
Panarin.
I think if they didn't, I think if Scheifele didn't injure him on that play,
2 games.
I think you see 2-game suspension
2 games
for
sure.
just playing reckless.
Honestly,
Like,
I think if he didn't injure him, he might have got
it
one.
might be 1. Yeah, I was thinking even 1. Like just for
Yep.
playing reckless at the end of the game, you get a game suspension. But yeah,
There we
I
go.
think if you cause an injury, if you cause an injury because of an infraction on your part, it should be considered. Yeah,
because
I think
you made the decision to make
Yeah,
that play.
no, I mean, I get that. I just think in this situation and looking, the only reason I'm even saying too is more so the player, because everybody looks at the player when it's, it's the same thing. When we look at Tom Wilson's thing, we consider him as a player and as the person that he's done things over and over. Mark Scheifele literally has a clean record.
Yeah, and so that's why I definitely think
And
that
that's
injury,
why I think
helps
that maybe, I think it did factor in, but I still think, I don't know, I think 2 would have been fine. I do think it should have been a suspension. I think that's fair, but I think, I do agree. My thing is, I think he should have got 2. It sucks that Jake Evans got hurt, but I just think when you say that you factor in somebody's history and then you give them 4, the thing is this is not 4 games. This is now 4 playoff games, which we say can count as double or triple. So you're talking 8 to 12 games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
And for
but
Scheifele,
I do think
that's crazy.
Oh yeah,
That's
especially.
what I think.
I mean, and we're gonna talk about that later. How that's
Yeah.
actually like how that affected Winnipeg. But I definitely think that just in the future, I doubt unless he does anything completely egregious like this again. I highly doubt that he gets an upgraded suspension. Like I don't think if he does something minor that causes that's called for a
maybe.
suspension,
If
I
they
don't think he
don't-
gets like a 5-game or a
If
6-game.
if they don't consider that, then I that's good. It's just I think they normally do like the progressive thing, and now if that's on his record as getting a 4 games in the playoff. See,
I think if it's a similar penalty, then yeah. I think if it's a similar penalty, they'll call it they'll upgrade the suspension. But if it's anything like anything minor, just like players that like throw a sucker punch or spear and get a game, I doubt that they give that like 5 or something.
See, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I still disagree. And the reason I disagree with what Adam said on getting away from that, because you just can't. Because in the playoffs, you're only guaranteed 4 games. That's it. You're guaranteed 4 games. So if you consider that in the regular season, you're playing fucking 82 games regardless.
The only reason I think I agree with Adam on this is because I think playoff games should definitely have more meaning than like anything in the regular season. To be honest with you. Just because I think every series, those 4 to 7 games are more important. Like for each series, those 4 to 7 games are more important than those regular season games.
Yeah, they can miss as many. Yeah, I mean, it's like the same thing with injury. During the regular season, if somebody misses 10 games because of an injury. Okay, fine. We'll let them miss 2 more so they're 100% healthy. In the playoffs, it's shit. I got to get back. I'm going to come back, at 80% if I'm Alexander Ovechkin.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Because my team needs me to be in this lineup, or else we could potentially be sent home.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Adam's comment here. He said that he thinks we need to get away from this regular season games as one playoff game for suspensions, and we're just debating. It's hard to get away from that because during the regular season, it really doesn't matter. I mean, the only time you were like, oh wow, that's a lot of games is when like that. Who was it that got suspended 20 games? Well, I mean, was that was Tom
Wilson? Yeah, Tom Wilson. I think he originally got like a 34 game suspension or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was like
they brought it down to like 20 or something.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is it's like it has to be a significant portion. But when you get into these games, you're only guaranteed 4 games when you go to the playoffs. Yes, you can extend it to 7, but it really does count for that much. And I understand that when you're looking at suspensions, it shouldn't be like, oh, well, this is one playoff game. So it's still one game, but, it's the weight of, 2 to 3. So, I mean, that's the thing is it's hard to get away from it because they just mean so much more, regardless if you want it to or not. You don't usually see this many big fucking suspensions, to be honest with you. I don't recall the last time there's been
an 8-game suspension in the playoffs,
or like 3 different players we're talking about in the last week and a half that has been suspended for more than 2 games. Like,
all right, so this is where it starts to get back into the argument that I've heard people make about teams not having enforcers, right? So when teams don't have enforcers, people take dirtier runs at people because they have nothing to be afraid of, right? So like look what was St. Louis, for example. They don't really have an enforcer that would have fought Nazem Kadri for that hit. Nobody did fight him for that hit, right?
Yeah, Clifford.
Yeah, but Clifford didn't fight nobody, dude.
He's not an enforcer. I don't think you can call him that.
He can just throw hands.
Yeah, he's just a tough player. I don't even know if you'd call him like your absolute tough guy that's always there,
Yeah.
He just was thrusted into that role for the Kings, right? But I mean, like, do you think Nazem Kadri does that hit against somebody on Vegas? Fuck no. Because he knows if he does, Ryan Reeves will beat him into the ice, dude.
But at the same time, if he was thinking about that, do you think he would have done that hit thinking he was going to get suspended again for another 8 games?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's tough to like
putting your team. I mean, at that point, I really think that it's like you're really. If he thought like that, then he's a really bad teammate because at that point, I would be more worried about a suspension because now you're fucking your team that's counting on you to be in the lineup. And you put them in a very bad situation that they have to now alter their lineup for the next however long you're suspended.
Yeah. Especially when you're a skilled player like Kadri, because Kadri is a good player.
Yeah. He is a great second-line center.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and that's why I don't think he really thought about something like that. Again, I just think it's something he's just accustomed to doing. It's not the first time. Yeah. I mean, maybe if there's another player like maybe Scheifele. I mean, maybe Scheifele thinking that on that hit, like, I might lay this guy out and nobody's really going to beat my ass.
Well, Mark Scheifele, I think, learns from this and probably doesn't ever do that
for
again.
Sure. No, I think so too. I'm just saying that, like, maybe he doesn't even attempt to blow Jake Evans up if he thinks, no, because Corey Perry's a pussy. He's not going to do anything. So, I mean, that's the thing. Maybe I'm not saying he is thinking that, but if that does cross people's mind, I mean, I don't think they're sitting there thinking, I could blow this guy. But maybe it just didn't cross his mind because maybe if he's going to make that hit and he's like, oh, fuck Ryan Reeves, maybe he tries to stick check it so at least it looks a little cleaner.
I agree.
I mean, we'll never know if that crosses mind, but still, I mean, it's an interesting thing. Like, I understand exactly what you're talking about, especially during the race. You talk about this all the time where people do more things, more borderline things when there's not that tough guy in the lineup.
Yeah.
That they have to respond to. Yeah, go for it. But yeah, so I mean, those are 3 big suspensions to 3. I would say Reeves, I don't think is as
Vital.
Vital. Yeah, he's
I
not
agree.
as vital to the team.
That fourth line was really good for a while there, though, with Stefan Nosek, Ryan Reeves, and who else is on that line? Will Carrier. That is a really good fourth line, but
yeah. I mean, yeah, but Reeves just isn't. He's a tough guy, and he's a big body that usually gets a lot of tips in front of the net, or he plays his role well, but his role isn't as vital to a team like Vegas that a Nazem Kadri or a Mark Scheifele is, for their teams respectively. But yeah, so we had some interesting suspensions. Potentially another one was Scott, bringing up the Nick Ritchie hit tonight. We'll see. We'll have an answer obviously before our next recording next week. But yeah, we can move on. We got a couple of
there's some happy news.
Yeah, there's some
big happy news here.
There's lots of big happy news before we get into these series.
I'll go into this one because this one's awesome, dude. This is really exciting. Mm-hmm. The first female ever drafted into the OHL, man. Taya Curry drafted 14th in the 14th round to Sarnia. She's been playing 7 years with AAA boys and a starting goalie on Best Alliance Hockey League team. Dude, this is awesome, man. And the reason being is as a girl dad myself, you hate to see limitations put on anybody just because of the sex that they were born. Do I think that women are now going to be in the NHL fucking throwing hip checks and stuff like that? Probably not, man. Physiologically, men are bigger. Muscle mass is bigger on men. I mean, this is true. I mean, it would take a woman a hell of a lot of work to get to the point where she's playing in the NHL. But with that being said, it took Taya Curry a hell of a lot of work to be drafted into the OHL as a goalie, man. It really did.
And the thing was, they interviewed, this wasn't just like it seems, the 14th round, did they just, do it to just pick a girl? No, the GM for Sarnia basically came out and said, look, she was the best player at the point we were going to pick here in the 14th round. She's an awesome goalie. Her team in the league just says she's absolutely fantastic in net. She's, like I said, she's a starting goaltender for the best team in the Alliance Hockey League. I think she's 16. She's 16, got drafted to the OHL. And they just said she's an unbelievable goaltender. That's really what it came down to. That's she was just the best player available at that point, and that's what they wanted to do. They wanted another goaltender, and she's good.
I love it, man. I love it. It's just things you love to see, bro. Not just because it's breaking that down, you know what I mean? Breaking the barrier, but she worked hard to get there. And that's all right, fuck it. Let's get into it just because it's all over social media, dude. All these fucking alpha males who are fucking, threatened by a woman or a girl getting drafted into the OHL. Oh my God, it's shattering my fucking perception of what reality is. Oh my God. Bro, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
This young
woman.
Have
a pair big enough to not worry about it.
This young woman worked extremely hard to get to that point. Extremely hard.
The only people that are going sitting there and saying that are the ones that aren't even physically able to do to sit there and be a goalie. Like it's like the same thing when all these, people go on freaking ESPN and comment on pictures about how much of a bum LeBron James is or whoever else the other athlete is, or, I mean, it's like you sit there and do it, and dude, you're doing it from your couch and you weigh fucking 280 pounds and you're 5'6". It's like eating your fucking Doritos. Like, don't be an asshole. Like, you can't do it. And yes, exactly what Pizzle said. If you can stop pucks, if you can play a sport, I mean, it doesn't just even have to do with that. If you can play a sport and you're better than, whoever you're playing against, if you're a top player, it doesn't matter what it is. If you can do it, who cares what gender you are? If you can hang, who gives a shit?
I agree. And because physically,
Yeah, it makes it more impressive. That's
agreed. Like I said, man, physiologically, men are different than women. Physiologically, dude, muscle mass, body types. You're muted, Scott. We are just different, man. We are built differently. We are.
Yeah.
So for this young woman to fucking, get to where she's at, she's 5'8", playing in the OHL, 5'8" at 16 years old is roughly around the size you might want to be. Or 14, 15 years old, that's roughly around the size you want to be. So I mean,
yeah,
good on her, man. I'm extremely happy for her, dude. And again, like I never once said that fucking women are going to be playing in the NHL tomorrow, but with the way that the league is going, with the way that the game is going, with more skilled, fast puck possession, puck handling and stuff like that, it wouldn't surprise me that more women get involved in the NHL. And the reason being, women are small, crafty, quick. You know what I mean? Like it would totally make sense for that to translate over into the NHL.
Yeah, and it could. And even if it doesn't matter. It's still impressive. If you're that good and you could get drafted, then you know what? More power to you. It doesn't matter. Exactly what what Pill said. It doesn't matter.
Even then, like as a goalkeeper, like you got to understand how many goalkeepers are in the world right now, and like how very few actually get the job. You can only have 2 per team, maybe 3 depending on certain rosters.
Yeah, and
so it's like 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, and you could probably have more than that on the bench or scratched, and then you have 2 goalies, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to get that job as a goalkeeper, and I think goalies are probably the most athletic on the team.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, it's just awesome to see.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, it is. It's cool. More good news. This one for our Florida Panthers Weekly. Anton Lundell signs his ELC with Florida Panthers. Led Finland in scoring. Who finished second place at the World Championship this season. Lost to Canada in the finals.
Of course.
Which I didn't actually add that note in. Canada, who lost their first 3 games at the Worlds, ended up winning the gold medal, which has never been done before.
That's bullshit.
But we will get into some good news about the Worlds at the very end of our episode. And then another more positive news before we jump into the actual series going on right now. Canada has approved a border exemption beginning with the Stanley Cup semifinals, which begin later this week or early next week. The decision allows teams to cross the United States-Canada border for games under a modified quarantine. They don't have to quarantine for 14 days under this modified quarantine, which is what Canada is currently doing because the border is closed down. Why is my fucking camera like super blurry right now? And that's starting with the semifinals, as I mentioned. The teams will also be subject to enhanced protocols. Arrival into and departure from Canada by private jet. These are the protocols. Arrival into and departure from Canada by private jet, daily COVID-19 testing, and a modified quarantine for teams are part of the protocols. For the most part, teams playing in Canada in the semifinals and potentially the Stanley Cup final will be limited to the hotel and the rink, and interaction with the public will be limited as much as possible, which is really a shocker.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm happy that they opened it up. Mm-hmm. That paves the way for NHL next season, full schedule.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, that's what they expect, trending. Right? That's what they expect,
do.
Right? Yeah.
That's what they're expecting. Yes, that's why they're keeping kind of the border closed in Canada because they're still trying to rein it all the way in. They've had some additional outbreaks because they were getting, I believe, the vaccines from us, purchasing from us. So
they didn't secure vaccines like we did, dude.
Yeah. So So it's taking them a little bit
Let me tell you
longer.
something though. Speaking of COVID, I'm gonna sidebar here for a second, bro. I went to that wedding this weekend and nobody was fucking wearing masks, bro. And I'm just sitting there
really?
like fucking enjoying my life, bro. You want to know why? Because I'm fucking vaccinated, so I don't got to fucking worry about it.
Yeah.
All these people want to be around me without masks on and stuff like that. Do that at your own risk, bro. You know what I mean? Like, do it at your own risk.
Yeah.
I'm fucking vaccinated against this shit.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. I mean, at this point, if you don't care enough, then guess what? Eat
You know
your
what's
own
interesting? Eat your own ass. But you know what's crazy though is I haven't really heard anything about the NHL vaccinating players. Have they been vaccinating players?
I don't know.
I think they're kind of keeping it under wraps. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if
don't
the
think they're
NHL
sharing.
themselves. Yeah, I don't think the NHL themselves
MLB
is rolling out
sharing.
vaccines. But I think they may have just offered to the players, get a vaccine at your own discretion.
Oh, Adam said they have.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Because if they're vaccinating players, then what's the big deal?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool that they were able to get that exemption. So at least Montreal gets. We'll actually talk about series, but obviously Montreal moved on. We talked about. So Montreal at least gets home game. Zach apparently left on accident. Yeah. So they will at least get a home game or home games.
Oops, hi.
Yeah, I know.
Hello.
I don't know
Yeah.
what button I pressed, but I pressed something that refreshed my it wasn't F5, but I pressed something and it completely fucking refreshed the window.
It's all good. That's what I figured. I figured you pressed something. But yeah, so it's good. At least, the Canadian team will be able to get actual home games instead of having to play, somewhere in the United States for their games. Hello.
All right, Scott, can you feel this?
Llegaste en helado de inglés. Hey, English only Twitch. I think we're actually supposed to keep the same language, to be honest with you. I mean,
What happened?
I mean, he just doesn't understand English, so that's why.
Oh.
That's all it is.
Ushno and Entiendo?
No Nintendo.
You're a dick.
No, he's just saying he doesn't understand the language. But
sorry, buddy.
Nothing.
Lo siento.
That's all right. Scott will fix it.
English only.
Yes. Scott speaks it, but that's okay. But yeah,
that's all he's saying.
nah.
He's just saying he doesn't understand English and he doesn't know how he got here. So I don't.
Oh.
We don't
He
either,
pressed
bud,
the
but
button.
welcome.
Yeah. Hey, what up? You're welcome to learn English.
Hasta
here.
luego.
Eso sí lo
But yeah,
entiendo.
so we can jump right into
no.
the
We're sorry.
yeah, we are sorry.
We're sorry.
Now we got the playoff series. We got 4 series going on currently, sort of.
First one is we'll go over is the number 3 Boston facing off against number 4 New York Islanders. New York Islanders lead the series 3-2. If you live under a rock like I have been these past couple of weeks,
Yeah.
Game 1 went to Boston 5-2. Game 2 went to New York or the Islanders 4-3 in overtime. Game 3 went to Boston in OT 2-1, and then the next 2 games went to the Islanders 4-1 and 5-4. So New York is leading that 3-2. This is an awesome fucking series.
It's so fun to watch.
Oh, dude, I was eating dinner. And I was watching it, and I was like, you know what, dude, this is such a great battle of a team with superstars versus a team that has maybe 1 or 2 that's incredibly fucking coached. It's
In
awesome,
structure,
dude.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's Barry fucking Trotz, dude.
Very fun trout.
Barry
Man.
fucking Trotz, man, making the adjustments. Yeah, sorry.
I don't understand how that guy has only 1 cup to his name so far.
He hasn't had the
It's
personnel
good.
maybe for his systems, but dude, he's such a smart coach, man. He made the adjustment, moving. Who did he move to that line? It's the Villiers and Bailey line. I think he moved JG Pageau onto that line, and then that line tonight had some of the greatest chances.
With this copycat league, I can't wait for when the Islanders win a cup. The next few years are a black hole of offense because everyone's trying to trap. I mean,
true.
Yeah.
As a Stars fan, it'll be
As a
amazing.
Stars fan, it'll be amazing. Yeah, because you can't put up the offense right now.
It's just Barry Trotz, bro. He's so good. His system is just, and his adaptability, bro. Like, he saw things weren't going okay, like in like game 3, right?
They got veterans that fit too at the deadline. I mean, Palmieri's been amazing for them. Kyle Palmieri's been so awesome for them. Travis
leads the
Zajac,
team in goals.
Yeah, Travis Zajac has fit perfectly with that team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they just somehow find a way. I mean, yes, it's Barry fucking Trotz. They have a system in place. They don't stray from it. They have they have a team. They play a team game. They pick each other up. Somebody might be down. They pick somebody else up. It's next man up with that team, and it just seems to work. Trotz gets them to come out there and play the game, play their game. If they play their game, I mean, it's a lock for them. I mean, they chased Rast tonight in the second period. They scored 4 goals in the second period, chased Rast to bring in a rookie. I think it was Swayman. In that third period, because they just started just throwing bucks and just great.
You know what's
goalies.
impressive about them though is they're getting outshot, so they're getting great goaltending from Semyon Varlamov. Varlamov is standing on his fucking head. But the thing is though, is when Boston has these flurry of shots. Yeah. Boston will have like a flurry of shots, right? And then after they have that 2 to 3 minutes of just pure pressure in the zone. The Islanders go back to playing their fucking game, and then that's when they're scoring their goals, and it's impressive to watch.
It's just weathering the storm for as long as you can, and then as soon as that opportunity opens up and you get Boston's third and fourth line, the Islanders are such a deep team in terms of balance skill.
Yeah.
And so they're able to their third and fourth liners are just as good as their second liners.
Oh, their fourth line is the best fourth line in the league, bro.
Yeah.
Casey Cizikas, Cal Clutterbuck, and fucking Matt Martin. That's an awesome fourth line, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
And so they're able to push that no problem. They're able to score when the opportunities are given to them. And yeah, all you have to do is just rely on your goalie and defense to just weather that storm of that Boston first line, because Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That first line is disgusting.
Martian had an awesome fucking goal tonight, dude. That was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That was beautiful. I can't believe he fucking scored that, and I hate Marchand, dude. I hate him with a burning passion.
I think he's one of those players that if he was on my team, I would appreciate him, but at the same time, like he straddles the line way too much.
Oh yeah, he does. I agree. But it just goes to show, dude. Like, you can't load your team full of stars and not have like a great system in place. Like right now, we're seeing a battle of essentially attrition, dude. You have a team that is well structured, has a great coach in place, versus a team that relies solely on like their first line. Let's be real here. They've scored like 59.6% of the goal. No, 69.7% of their goals. These playoffs, they're a one team. They're a one line team.
Yeah,
kind of like the Colorado Avalanche.
Adam said it doesn't matter. He whiffed on a penalty shot.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So I mean, what?
Oh yeah.
Did you guys already say what your thoughts are for the rest of the series? What do you think? I mean, it's 3-2 Islanders.
I think Islanders take it.
Yeah, same.
You think?
I think the Islanders can take it. I think it goes to 7, but I think they take it.
I think it goes 6, dude. I think Boston's done next game. They go to the what is it? The Nassau Coliseum. They go into there, fucking lights out.
Is this the last year they have? They're in Nassau.
Then it's like the Belmont Park or something like that next season. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Boston comes out of there with a win. Dude, it's gonna be so loud in that arena.
Oh yeah,
I agree. I think this goes back to the same thing we talked about last series when they played the Penguins. I think they jumped up. They're going back home after they captured tonight's on the road in Boston. I think you don't want to go back to Boston Game 7 because I think that will be dangerous. I think they come back. They're going to play structured. They're going to play a clean game. Especially after what Bruce Cassidy said after the game tonight.
Bro,
you know,
he's just trying to get something going, dude. He's just
Okay.
trying to get something going.
he's trying to get something going. I think the Islanders with Barry Trotz is too smart. He's not going to let that get under their skin. He's going to tell them, to keep their focus, and they're going to come out, they're going to clinch it up game 6. And the Islanders are going to move on. That's my prediction as well.
I agree.
Scott, you too?
I do think it goes to 7, but I think the Islanders are able to ultimately close it. Yeah.
Wow, you think they're going to win on the road in Boston?
I think they can win on the road in Boston.
Well, they did tonight.
Well,
Exactly,
yeah. But
yeah.
game 7, you never know. Yeah, I mean, you never
It
know.
was
But
game 7. Well, hockey, you
tough.
never know.
Yeah, true.
Moving on to number 1 Carolina versus number 3 Tampa Bay. Carolina
it's
is just
such
so
a good series.
Carolina is just so good to be losing this series like this, dude.
Yeah.
To a
It's tough,
team
though.
to a team that is $18 million over cap.
I mean, the thing is it's like it's tough. Like, I get what you're saying. Tampa Bay leads the series 3-1. They play tomorrow.
In Carolina or in Tampa Bay?
Game 5, Carolina, I believe, because
Carolina,
they're the higher
5-7.
seed because they'll go 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So it's in Carolina. They've got to win. Well, I mean, obviously it's a win or go home situation, but they need to build some momentum and not mess around. They have to win. They got to come out early, play strong. I agree. I think I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting this to go 7, yes, but I thought it was going to be more of a situation where you're going back and forth with these two teams. Again, Carolina, really deep. They've been so good all season long. And I'm surprised, but at the same time, the series has been great. Every single game's been 1 goal, except the last game, which was 6-4 Tampa Bay. They got the win in game 4. Everything else, it was 2-1 Tampa Bay, 2-1 Tampa Bay, 3-2 overtime in Carolina, and then 6-4 the Lightning. Carolina did give up.
I wish I watched that game, dude.
They gave up that game. This is why they have to come out early and not just figure it out, because they were up in that game. I think it was 4-2. And then Tampa Bay scored like 4 straight goals or something. And that's what happened. They ended up losing 6-4. It was heartbreaking for them. Giving it up, I think most of those happened in that third period too.
Second period.
Oh, second period. Sorry. Yes. Second
High
period.
scoring second period. Yep.
Yeah.
I think if there's any coach that's going to be able to rally Carolina, it's going to be Rod Brind'Amour. He is a great players coach.
Oh yeah.
They have the system. They have the talent to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I personally feel like they're going to get a win this next game, hopefully, because I do want to see this series go a little bit longer. And I am still rather, butthurt about Tampa Bay being $18 million over cap space.
Well,
I think the series doesn't matter because they're going to lose.
But I also agree. I want this to go 7. Oh, excuse me.
I want this to go 7. But I feel like it's not going to matter because they're just going to lose to whoever wins that Islanders and Bruins series.
You think they're the better teams?
I think they're the way better teams. I think they're playing a much more playoff tunes hockey than these two teams are.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, look at that score, dude. 6-4. All those goals scored in that second period.
Would never happen against Boston or New York.
Yeah, but you look at the rest of this series. The highest score was with 3 goals.
True.
I mean, they're playing.
I just think Tampa's the better team because of obvious reasons. When you get to do the things that Tampa did, I think they're the better team. I think they're gonna pull it out, but I do hope it at least goes to 6. I'm really hoping for 7, but ultimately, I think Tampa's just gonna be the more skilled team.
I agree with you though that I think it
if
doesn't matter who comes out of this. I think they're gonna lose to whoever comes out of the Boston New York Islanders series.
Yeah.
I think that whatever team comes out of that is probably
both of those teams are hungry.
Yeah,
they're just so ready to win a cup.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, plus, like, I don't know, man. Like, the Islanders just have this chip on their shoulder, dude. And they have you said it when Daniel was away, and I agree with you on this, dude. Like, their lines are just so perfectly balanced.
Oh yeah.
They're scoring up and down that lineup, dude.
Yeah, they play a team game. They like I said, they support each other well. They pick each other up when one's down. They do. They're very evenly spread out. I don't I wouldn't go that far yet to say that, because I think it really depends on the matchups, to be honest with you. But I kind of not disagree. I think if this goes 7, I think Carolina wins.
Because it's at home.
If they get it to 7, because they will be at home. And
true.
that fan
Storm
base,
Yeah.
Storm Surge is just nasty, and they're hungry too. I think this is a very complete team. So if they get it to 7,
I agree with you.
I think that they're going to get. If they get it to 7, they are going to make it to the next round. But they have to get there now because they're in such a hole. You know, you got to win 3 straight games now.
Mhm.
So that's going to be tough to do. Can it be done? Absolutely. We've seen it before.
But the Montreal to Toronto series.
Yeah, I mean it's completely possible. It's not, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's going to be tough. Like I said, they're going to have to be, if they get down early, it's going to be a long road, because even if they win that, even if they pull out a gutsy effort and win tomorrow, they're still going to be a little shaky, and then they have to go back to Tampa. So you got to come out early and strong. They have to come out. They've got to be the one that scored first. They got to get the crowd into it. They've got to control the tempo tomorrow, or else they're in trouble.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Moving on to number 1 Colorado versus number 2 VGK.
Another fantastic series.
Series is tied 2-2.
This is the series that you definitely want to go 7, and it's going exactly how we expected it to go.
Yep.
No, you don't think so?
I think Colorado might have petered out a bit, dude. The past 2 games, Colorado has completely and absolutely dominated both of those games, dude. 100%. Ain't no if, ands, or even game. You can go back into game 2 too. No. It was game 2 was more even. But games 3 and 4, Vegas has absolutely dominated
Vegas got
the Avalanche.
Yeah.
Absolutely dominated them.
Yeah, but
I'm not even talking about like, they scored a shit ton of goals on them or anything. No, they dictated the way that those games went. And one of those games, both those games were in Vegas, right? Both those games were in Vegas.
They won both. But that's
going to be interesting to see how they come out in Colorado. But with that being said, I think Pete DeBoer has made the adjustments to be able to keep up with that team and continue to dominate, man. Again, this goes down to this is like the Islanders versus the Boston Bruins, dude. One team has a line full of superstars, and the other team has, just an absolute beast of a structure put in place. And who's going to win this battle? And to be quite honest, I feel like structure will beat out a line of superstars any day.
That's
but I think I think Colorado has that structure too, and I talked about it before. They've played, these last 2 games and a period, they haven't played their game. But I also think that as long as they have dictated, you're going to have you don't want it to happen in the playoffs, and it doesn't always happen. But this is a very short stretch. They lost 2 games in Vegas. Even if they petered out in that game 2 last period or whatever, they still came out on top. They won the game. You're not in trouble until you lose at home.
On a ticky-tack penalty call.
I mean, they happen both ways. They happen all the time, and you can't. It's like what a lot of hockey teams. You can't really blame it because there was probably something else earlier in the game that was missed or something.
Of course.
I mean, it wasn't a makeup call, but I'm just saying there was something that was missed along the way. So blaming it on one call is, it's rough to do.
Of course.
But at the same time, it's like I always, I talk about it all the time. I live by what they always say, you're not in trouble until you lose at home. Both teams have won their 2 games at home. They go back to Colorado. If Colorado, figures it out, comes out, plays their game again, or gets back on, I don't think this necessarily had to do with home ice. Yes, that factors in because there are crowds now. Vegas is full, which is huge. I think they do very much feed. I mean, most hockey teams do feed off, and most sports teams do feed off their fans. But I think Vegas really, really has over the, since they've been, became a franchise, they've really fed off that crowd. And they're one of the very first arenas that have had, that jam-packed of an arena. So that makes a difference, especially for these players that haven't been in that kind of environment for the last year and a half. I think that does factor in a series. And now you get to go back to Colorado. If they figure it back out, I think I don't know. I mean, I understand that they were dominated, but Colorado completely dominated the first 2 games. I mean, until last period, they dominated the first game. They dominated most of the second game. I get the end of the game. Vegas was there, and it was a ticky-tack penalty. But they've been playing their game and dictating it for a long time. And I mean, in all of these series, the whole regular season, they haven't really had much sputtering. There was a very light stretch during the regular season, but it's been complete domination for them. And I think they're at least afforded the ability. You don't want it to happen in the playoffs, especially the team, but you're afforded the ability to have a very short stint of getting dominated if they come out at home in the next game.
All I'm saying is this, is if they come out tomorrow and Vegas is still dominating, they're in fucking trouble.
Oh yeah, of course.
They're in mad trouble.
Oh yeah. Oh, for
because
sure.
and this is the way that I feel about Vegas. As much as I hate Vegas, they are a matchup nightmare, dude. A matchup nightmare. Because lines 1 through 3 can all fucking score on you. They're all top 6 forwards. So when you have a team like Colorado, who's a one-line team, all the rest of the and we've talked about this before. Those 3 lines do a great job of bending and not breaking. Yeah, and they'll pot you a couple goals every once in a while. But the problem is though, when you're facing a team that plays as fast as Vegas does, Vegas plays as fast as Colorado does. They may not have their personnel may not be as fast as like Nathan McKinnon and stuff like that, or even like Cal McCarr, but their system plays extremely fast.
Yeah, they do. They break out fast.
They're moving the puck constantly.
Yeah, their breakouts are nasty. Their move through the neutral zone is
they're putting the pucks
impeccable.
They're putting the pucks where they think somebody should be, and most of the time that player is already there. You know what I mean? Like It's wild. It's wild. But I see that as being a disadvantage to I see the disadvantage being with the Avs, man, because look, dude, if you're a one-line team and your top forwards start to go through a dry spell, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked.
I don't think they're a one-line team though.
Yeah, I don't either. And we talked about this before. But the thing is what Zach's saying too is it's the same thing.
What do you mean they're not a one-line team though, dude? Like their top line has scored like 70 to 80% of their goals in the playoffs.
Okay, yeah, I definitely think that their star players are the only ones that have been shining, but I do think that like they could actually pull. I feel like they have skill players though.
Yeah, they do. You got like a Brandon Saad.
I haven't been saying that.
You have a Brandon Saad. You've got, well, normally you have Kadri. I mean, you've got these guys. I mean, the thing was, it goes back to, I know Zach and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. What he's kind of saying with the one-line team, their one line is it's kind of like Boston. Yeah. They carry their scoring, but the difference is those second, third, fourth liners, they just do their job so well and give enough secondary scoring to where it's not like they're they're not starving for secondary scoring.
Mhm.
They're capable, but they're not like, I mean, like you said, Vegas was built on basically middle or top to middle six players, and it's all across the whole board. It's not, you've got your top six with Colorado, and then you have maybe a guy here or a guy there that will do something for you. Vegas is just completely, it's more like the Islanders, like you talked about. They just have, they're evenly spread out. They do it as a team. You don't have, I mean, their top line isn't like carrying their goal scoring. You have, your Paciorettys, you've got your Mark Stones, that are there. Those are your star players. But then you've got,
William Karlsson, Jonathan Marchessault, and Riley Smith on your second line. You have Alex Tuck, Nick Waugh, and then I can't remember who's on that third line with them. They're like,
it's very similar to the Islanders, where I mean, these are all players that are just well balanced. It's such a nice structure,
and exactly what I thought would happen is happening. Once Vegas figured out how to shut their top line down and dictate the pace of or the rate of play, this is exactly what I thought would happen. Their other lines were just going to fucking just dominate, and the goal scoring is dispersed evenly amongst Vegas right now.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the beauty, though, of a 7-game series is Colorado now also has time to adjust here.
Yeah,
and they're, Vegas figured them out, and now Vegas is able to control the game.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, next game we could definitely see Colorado start to take back 100%. Control of that. Yeah,
100%. But here's the problem, though. When you are Colorado, and you really only have one line that's doing the damage for you, how do you adjust?
I'd say honestly, you need to utilize the defenseman a lot more.
But the problem is though, and this is where Vegas is doing a better job against Colorado than St. Louis did. Vegas is hitting the fuck out of a Colorado defenseman so that they can't jump up in the play.
I was gonna say, I think you just need, and I know they're such young players, so it's so hard to instill that, but you need just a lot tougher of a mindset going into these playoff games, and you need to play like everyone needs to play like a power forward.
Yeah, but at the same time, I get what you're saying, and them being young, but I look at a guy like Cale Makar, who we talk about being already an elite defenseman in this league. He came in as a teenager basically and slotted into the playoffs last season, right?
No, season before that.
Before that, sorry. Slotted his first games were in the playoffs. And so I think he's kind of already been able to get some experience in the playoffs, and I think he just is mentally tough, or he seemed that way. Nobody's
saying Cale Makar is.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But I'm talking about the mindset now, because he's talking about you have young guys that need to get that mindset into, because now you got to bounce back. Now it's an even series. It's a new series. It's basically 0-0. You've got to come out. You both punched each other in the face. And now your young guys do have to step up, because it's exactly what you just talked about. I'm not talking about Makar just in general. I'm just saying he's going to be your young leader. Like, even though you're not questioning Makar as a player, he's going to need, if anything, to maybe get some of these younger guys. Like, I mean, isn't Newhook playing now? He's a damn rookie.
How was Burakovsky's stats for the playoffs looking? Do we know? He's got 3 assists in 8 games. I feel like Burakovsky can play better than that.
Yeah,
but that's the reason why Washington traded him, dude, because he disappears, man.
Yeah,
and he never became that top goal scorer that he projected to be.
Yeah, I definitely think you should expect more from Burakovsky coming into. I mean, if you're planning on making that adjustment, that's one player you definitely need to talk to and just say like, hey, they're shutting down our top guys. We need you to actually, do something here.
But see, that's the problem, though, dude. Even though you tell him that he needs to do something, he's still going against like Vegas's, second line, third line.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult for Colorado. I feel like it's going to be difficult because Vegas is just so fucking deep, dude. So fucking deep. As much as I hate them, dude, they are probably one of the best built teams going into this playoffs. They have Janmark on what, the third line? Dude, that's fucking wild, bro. Janmark, fucking Alex Tuck, and Nick Raw.
Yeah, it's one of those structured teams where you could put your skill players in the second and third line, and they'll still produce just because everyone flows so well together on that team.
It's gonna be. Honestly, dude, this is an uphill battle for Vegas, dude. Or I mean, uphill battle for Colorado, because I feel like they didn't really face any adversity over the season. Like, oh, we're going through a real dry spell and losing streak. That they never really got that mental. I don't want to say mental toughness, but they just didn't face any adversity over the season, and now they're facing that adversity in the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see how they respond coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, they play tomorrow. Yeah, hold on.
I'm definitely going to be watching that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I believe they play. Yes, they do. Tomorrow, 6:00 our time.
Yes, deep. Mm-hmm.
So that will be on. It's going to be fun. It is going to be a battle. I hope this goes 7. My prediction still stands. I think this is going to go long. I think it was going to be 6 or 7 games. And I think Colorado does adjust. I think they're going to come out and win. I understand that I'm rooting for them, and I think you guys are too. But
actually, no, I'm not. I'm not rooting for Vegas. I'm not rooting for Colorado. I hate Nathan MacKinnon, dude. I hate him.
Imagine hating Nathan MacKinnon.
Yeah, what did he do? What did Nathan MacKinnon ever do to you?
Because he
stick handles too much.
He stick handles unnecessarily, dude. And then I think it was Vanny, dude. Vanny brought it up to me the other night. Well, what about Patty Kane? He was Patty Kane was smooth with it, dude. Kane was
MacKinnon.
How is MacKinnon not? He's fast as fuck, and he's
herky jerky.
He
is herky jerky, dude. He is herky jerky.
Look at this guy.
Dude, it looks like he's chopping the fucking ice, bro. Like he's trying to make ice cubes out there, dude.
Well, it fucking works, doesn't it?
Oh, don't get me wrong. He's a fucking phenomenal player. And I'll even agree with Berkey now, dude, that I legit think that he's a generational talent, man. He's an awesome fucking player. Doesn't mean I need to like him, though.
You don't have to.
Yeah, true.
Fuck
you
that
don't
guy.
have to, but
he stick handles way too much unnecessarily.
That's a very unnecessary reason to not like somebody, though.
I don't like watching him play, dude. When he could just have the puck on his stick and he's like and skate, right? Like a fucking top speed, the guy's going.
He learned from Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby doesn't even fucking stick handle that much, dude.
He does, yeah.
I will say, I think I'm also rooting for Vegas on this, just because.
Fleury.
Well, not only Fleury, but just like, I think it's nice to see well-structured teams go to the Cup. I think if there's a team that's going to win the Cup, that's why I want the Islanders to win the Cup more than anyone else. It's just because when you have a well-structured team like that, those are the teams that you love to see win a Cup, because they're always seen as underdogs. And then you look at it, like once you look at the statistics after the fact and in hindsight, you see like, whoa, this team is actually really good. Because of their underdogs and because they just know how to play together.
I agree. And that's the reason why I'm rooting for Vegas now, is because Vegas is technically the underdog in this series. Plus, I don't agree with that whole notion of like you only need one line to fucking. And that's why I don't like Boston.
I don't agree with that either.
That's why I don't like Boston.
I don't agree with that
Boston.
either. But I think we see differently. I think we see differently that I don't think they're necessarily a one-line team either. I think that they're structured. We talked about this a few weeks ago, and you said you agreed with me that they're structured the way that it works for them. They're not necessarily a one-line team. 2 through 4 give enough, and they They bend, they don't break. They do their job. They have some secondary scoring. They play well together and fit in where they're supposed to. You just have a line of Rantanen, McKinnon, and Landeskog that just score so much that it's like they're not going to keep up with the scoring there. You're not going to have your second line scoring fucking 30 points a series. It's just no way. I mean, there's a way, I guess, but there's
scoring
that.
Well, no, but I mean, their scoring is more well balanced amongst their lines, though. That's what I'm saying. Like when you
have
look at
top talent,
when you look at Colorado, their top line is scoring like 70 to 80% of their fucking goals, man. That's not well balanced at all.
No,
60% like Boston, sure, that's a little bit more spaced out and stuff like that. But like 70 to 80%, that means your fucking 2 through 4 lines aren't doing a damn thing.
Well, that's not necessarily true, though. That means you have guys like, I mean, you've got McKinnon who's been leading. He was basically leading in points for all the playoffs, and they had played the least amount of games. He's not anymore, but he was. They had played the least amount of games in the playoffs, and he was the leading scorer, the leading goal scorer. And when you're just scoring that much as a player, of course, it's going to look like you're scoring.
But it's not just him, though. I mean, like, Rantanen has a shit ton of fucking.
Oh, I know. A shit ton of points. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but I'm just saying, like, but yeah, I mean, I'm still rooting for Colorado.
We know.
Yeah,
we know. Oh, moving on to the best part of the show.
No, we're not. We still have another series.
Oh fuck! My bad.
Yeah, that's what everybody thinks because it was that quick.
My bad.
Okay, can we actually talk about another series before we talk about this one?
Sure.
And it was the series preceding this.
Okay. Just so that we can laugh. Yes.
Just so that we can laugh.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with the Toronto Maple Leafs? They're so bad.
Their top players.
Did you see the Toronto Maple Leafs cycle that they put up? The meme.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, you need to look. I don't want to butcher it, but there's like the cycle of the Toronto Maple Leafs or something, and it's like, be really, come out the first game of the season, Stanley Cup, start planning the parade, have a good record, have top, some top players in the league, get to March, and it's like, oh, they hit a dry spell. Oh, it's the playoffs. Oh, let's talk shit about the Montreal Canadiens because they're not going to do anything either. They're going to get ousted as well. And then they lose out of the playoffs, and then it just starts over.
It's so, I mean...
Their top players just don't have killer instincts, dude. That's what it is. And they were missing Johnson.
It's a culture thing.
It's a culture
thing. Yeah, I think you have such a... I don't know. It's just so tough to think... Imagine being the GM. Who's the GM again? He's really young. Yeah. Imagine being the GM and they ask you to build this fantastic, this stacked team, and you give it to them. You manage to build a stacked roster in Toronto, where, I mean, that's a hard enough task as it is, right?
Yep.
You build a stacked roster in Toronto, and then after giving them everything, you have amazing lines. You have great goaltending now. You figured out your goaltending problem, and then you still...
I wouldn't say great.
Campbell was good that entire series.
Oh, he was fantastic, but I still don't think
he's not a number one goalie.
I mean, but he gave you all you needed in that series.
Oh, he did. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you on that.
He gave enough to win that series. I agree with that.
Yeah, and so you do all of that. You're up 3-1, and you just can't close out. And I think it has to do with I forgot which Toronto Maple Leafs player said it, but they talked about how they just can't start games, and we saw that clearly. Where in games 5 and 6, they had to come back in those games, and by then they were already gassed, and they were just done.
It's the mental fortitude for me, dude.
It's mental, yeah.
It's mental fortitude. It's not.
I mean, where's Matthews?
To be honest with you, as soon as they got up 3-1, you already started seeing the stuff come out in social media, and apparently they don't have the mental fortitude to deal with that, because as soon as they went up, you started seeing all over social media. Oh, they're up. They got the lead again. They're probably going to blow it, this and that. And they're probably seeing all this because they're young guys. They go on social media, and apparently they just don't have the mental fortitude to get by that.
Honestly, man, for me, like what it is it is 100% the culture that was built around Matthews and Marner. They were given everything, like to be in Toronto. Given everything, dude. People looked at them as if they were fucking stars, and they hadn't won anything yet. And now that's built this toxicity around those two of just like, oh, it doesn't fucking matter, man. We still get our money, and we don't have to win anything. It doesn't matter. Like that. Yeah. I swallow welcome.
Nice.
Hello.
He swallows welcome. Way to go.
Yeah, hell yeah. Welcome.
That's a good gotcha moment.
Gotcha.
Nice. Welcome. I read that out loud.
Just for you.
Yep. So the team was built around them. They were given this toxic mentality of like, I don't really got to worry about it all that much. I'm going to get paid regardless, whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, if Toronto wants to win anything, they need to move one of those two.
Well, they're going to have to at this point. We talked about it. We've already talked about them putting themselves in a fucked up position by deciding they needed to get John Tavares. Again, I don't want to go back to talking about it. It's not saying that having John Tavares is a bad thing. He's a great player.
He's not the leader of the team, though. Even though you gave him the captain, he's not the leader of the team. The leader of that team is Austin Matthews because you placed him on that fucking pedestal with that much money.
Exactly. And and that's the problem. But at the same time, they didn't make the smart play. That's not what they needed. There's no reason they needed another forward. Yeah. There's no reason that they should have done that. And now they fucked themselves. They really don't have a defensive core, to be honest with you. No. They're not very good.
Jake Muzzin is awesome. Jake Muzzin is awesome, but he's a number 2. He shouldn't be playing up on your top line. And that's why he didn't play on the top pairing.
I think he's fine. I think he's fine as a top pairing D-man, but I don't think he's not your – I don't know.
Well, he also got injured.
Yeah, he did get injured. He didn't play
it's game 6 and 7, game. Right?
Yeah.
Mm.
I love Jake Muzzin, though.
And he's played fantastic for them. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like –
they need to move on from –
They didn't make the smart decision. And now they're where they're at, and now you're already fucked with cap. And how much more blew a 3-1. You blew a 3-1 lead again. And where do you go from here? There's literally nothing you could. At this point, you cannot roll with the same fucking full team. It just can't happen. You have to move one of those players. And we talked about it already. We think it's going to be Marner.
Yeah,
because you're not moving on for Matthews.
No, you're definitely not.
You're not moving Tavares.
Nobody's going to take Tavares off.
Well, yeah, no one's going to take Tavares.
No, definitely not.
And you're not going to move him anyways. I think now that you've made that commitment, he's still he's in a good situation. But you've got to move somebody to get something you need to build a much more structured team.
Honestly, I think if they want to win, they got to move Austin Matthews. I think he's the problem with the team. He just draws so much controversy to him. Oh, look at the shorts that he's wearing. Look at his fucking mustache. Look at this. Look at that. And it's all stupid fucking like criticisms, right? Yeah. It's all stupid fucking.
But that's what happens when you're in Toronto.
Move him to Arizona, dude. Move him to Arizona.
The Toronto media is probably the worst media in hockey. Because they will be critical. If they don't like you, they will try to tear you down as a player. And we saw it with Phil Kessel, where they try to tear you down as a player for absolutely no reason, for just trying to play hockey.
I would move Matthews to someone like Arizona, dude. Or even, honestly, dude, like I've said it multiple times, LA has the pieces to get Marner like out here. You know what I mean? I would move Marner to like somebody like LA, or even Matthews to somebody like Arizona.
Yeah, okay. I like what Adam said. I think they have a defense. Riley, Brody, Muzzin, and Hull have played well. The Leafs is at a point where it's
not what he was.
He's not
a shot
what
blocker,
it was.
Though. He's a shot blocker.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. But still, exactly. Yeah. I think they are they have the defense. They figured out goaltending, at least for this season. They had figured it out. It was just a matter of all of your players just shut down.
But they also don't have a number one goalie though. They need to figure that out.
Yeah, I
They
think
have to figure that out.
Campbell is capable, but if you're a team like the Toronto Maple Leafs, you've got to have that number one guy. You've got to have somebody that can. I think Campbell's fine, but I Fine and Toronto aren't, especially with their drought. Fine and Toronto aren't a thing right now. You can't just say, "Oh, they're fine."
I'll agree with Scott though, dude. I would give Campbell 1 year as the number one.
Yeah,
to see what he does.
I mean, just with how amazing he played during the regular season, and
How
then
amazing he played for the Kings too. Like,
and then the fact that he gave you that 9-2 save percentage.
But I still think you need better defense in front of him.
Oh, I mean, it's tough. I just think you need, like, I think they have the team, and it's why we look at the team on paper and go, "This is a cup-winning team every year." You know, we look at a team and say, this team could easily win the cup. I think it's just a matter of it's either coaching or it's the players. But it's
not.
So
they
tough
went through
to say.
multiple coaches at this point.
it's not coaches, it's the players, dude. It's again, it's Matthews and Marner being placed upon that pedestal, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And they feel like they are untouchable.
But it's so weird because it's even like John Tavares, who is going to be he's like such a consistent player. Even him in the playoffs, like he doesn't. I know he got injured this series, but like even in the past 2 years, he just hasn't been playing well in the playoffs. He doesn't play up to what he should be, and it's so weird. I just think they're cursed.
At this point, I mean, I don't know. It's just, for me, the thing is I do think that their defense is better than it has been. It's the same thing we said about Edmonton. Their defense was better than it has been. Yeah. But I still don't look at their defensive core, especially when you have all that forward depth. And you just look at, like, it's fine. But
I don't think they have to worry about their defensive core, though, dude. You got the likes of Rasmus Sandin coming up. You have Timothy Liljegren coming up as well. Like, they're all projected to be top four defensemen.
Hopefully they're gonna be hitting the.
But back to the matter at hand, though.
Oh yeah, the actual series we were supposed to talk about.
Oh yeah,
fucking Montreal sweeps the Winnipeg Jets, dude.
After coming back in that series,
they've won 7 straight. They have won 7 straight. And I love what Tyler Toffoli said to I can't remember who was interviewing him after the game. And I said, like, what are you guys doing that, you're finding this success? And he's like, we're just staying positive, man. And you can tell by the way that they are playing and the way that they react to things on the ice that these dudes they're happy to be there, man. And
they're playing with the mindset that Toronto needs to play with.
And to be quite honest, that is fucking dangerous in the playoffs, dude.
True.
Yeah,
well,
that is what I'm saying.
It's crazy to me because I'm seeing like Canadians fans on Twitter and stuff like talking about the games, and like in regards to next season, whenever they're talking about next season, they're like, "No, we're not going to make the playoffs next season." Like, have you seen how stacked? Like, it's gonna if the divisions go back to normal, there's no shot we make it to the playoffs. And so I think there's like almost that sense of urgency as well of like, this has to be our year. Like, this can be and has to be our year to win a cup. Like, I think they're a fantastic team and they're gonna be really good, but like just seeing all of their fans like also talk about next season, how like just next season, not like necessarily the future, but like next season they're like, no, we're not gonna make the playoffs, but they're gonna be a conference final team.
They're taking what was dealt to them, dude. And
exactly.
Big kudos to them, man.
They're doing what Toronto and Edmonton couldn't.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. But the thing is it's exactly like I said. I mean, their mindset. You hope that Toronto can't have that mindset because they do have that chip on their shoulder. Montreal's dangerous because they literally were the team that nobody expected. Maybe to go this far, let alone play as well. I mean, they had some good stretches throughout the season. They were playing well, and then they kind of tapered off. For a while, they snuck into the playoffs. They were a big underdog against Toronto. They're playing. They have nothing to lose. I mean, that's the thing. They're playing happy. They're playing with they're having fun and they have nothing to lose. They've already exceeded what people thought by coming back against Toronto. Then they come out and sweep Winnipeg, who everybody said, in this North Division, they're the most complete team, between having great, good defense, great goaltending, and, they have forward depth. And, it's a team that we thought was, probably the most complete in the North Division. And now you've got them come out and absolutely, they made.
What did I say about Montreal?
Winnipeg.
Hot take.
It wasn't hot. I mean, I agree. It wasn't that hot. I think when we looked at this, it was the same thing before this. Was it this series? Yeah, this series. I said it. I said the only reason I wasn't going with Montreal was I wasn't sure how. Oh, no, that was the Toronto series. I said the only reason I wasn't picking Montreal was because I wasn't sure how healthy Carey Price was and how healthy Brendan Gallagher were.
Oh, I'm talking about
Carey
the beginning
Price
of the season.
No. Remember, Carey Price had to make 2 starts in the A.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how healthy he was going to be going into that Toronto series. So I had picked Toronto to win that series. Or else I was taking Montreal if I knew that Carey Price was going to be as healthy as he is.
I think at the start of the season,
absolutely fantastic. They're playing great right now. Carey Price is playing unreal.
I think at the start of the season, it was mostly just I thought Vancouver would be better than they were. And so because of that, I didn't think Montreal was going to make the playoffs.
Correct.
But then since Vancouver choked it, of course, I just think this is an entire, I don't want to say they're being lucky. I think they're taking perfect advantage of the opportunity.
Oh, yeah. They are.
Yeah.
They're taking advantage of the opportunity.
I called Montreal to make the playoffs.
Yeah, you did. You did.
But I mean, honestly, dude, they're playing like they have nothing to lose, and it's showing, and it's getting them places, man. And honestly, dude, the structure that they're playing is really well. I mean, their forecheck is insane, bro. Throwing 2 forwards in at the puck, it's insane. I think they'll get picked apart by a team like Vegas or Colorado. Just because they are the better team systematically and player wise, but it's awesome to see Montreal here, dude. Good for them. I'm really happy for them.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to see it, and we're glad to see guys like Toffoli go over there. And I mean, he scored the series clinching goal off a pass from Cole Caulfield, who couldn't see the ice in the NHL, according to Zach.
You're welcome. You're welcome for Cupcake. I never thought Cole Caulfield would play in the NHL. I'm a liar. Moving on to the best part of the show that I love to talk about. Motherfucking Kings talk, homie.
Yep.
I actually got to go. I got to head out.
What?
Hey, brother.
All right.
Yeah, my bad. It's getting late, so I just got to head out.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
All good.
Have a good night, Scott. We'll talk to you later.
See you guys. See you, chat.
See you
Have a good one.
Kings players at the Worlds. All of them.
Let's be real, Scott. Let's be real. Scott just didn't want to talk Kings.
No, he's all flurry right now, dude. Kings players at the Worlds, all of them came back with medals except Kempe. So you had Trevor Moore, Sean Walker, Velarde came back with a gold, and that was good for him. Jad played with, Jad played.
Yeah.
And then
Cal Peterson,
and then who's our defenseman? Roy. Yeah, Roy went and played.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Matt Roy went and played. Team USA. So good for them. You know, I'm glad Velarde went to go play. He's getting his reps and stuff like that. It's awesome for him to see that. Or it's awesome for me to see that. He's getting his reps. His back is still healthy. He contributed. Had some awesome passes and stuff like that for goals. So, we'll see him. Honestly, man, I think we're gonna see him come back next season, fucking ready to play, dude. And he's gonna look a lot better. Cal Peterson was voted the top 3 player in the tourney. Voted the best goalie of 2021 Men's World with 7 games played. He was 5-2, a 1.29 goals against average with a .953 save percentage. Jesus.
Dude,
now, mind you,
unreal.
Mind you, he's not playing against fucking best of the best here.
No.
Let's be real here. But he did play very fucking well.
Yeah, I mean, you're not playing against the best of the best, but to have a 1.29 and a 9.53 with 2 shutouts is still
it's
impressive.
wild. It's wild, dude. Good for him, man. Glad to see him getting his reps. Only other news that we really have for the Kings is Helge Grans from this past draft signed a 3-year ELC. So what that says to me is that the Kings might be looking to move him back over here. Why else would you? Well, they'll probably move him over to the AHL. But a right shot, offensive. He's a good puck mover, and he's also kind of on the offensive side of D-men. So I think with that signing, look to see him in the AHL next season for sure.
Yeah,
that's all the news that's all the Kings news that I can think of to talk about.
Yep. Yeah, that's all there really was.
So let's move on. Yeah, we're not in the playoffs. We don't get to talk about stuff. So let's move on to our beers of the week. What'd you have, dude?
I had 2 different ones. It was hard to pick, but I know which one I'm going to rate, but I still want to give him a shout out. So I finally had, I know I told you and Dave about this Tarantula Hill. So Tarantula Hill is from Thousand Oaks.
Yeah.
So I happen to see, I always see pictures and shit, or what's it called? Craft Beer Keems always gets their shit, and it always looks so cool. I want to try it. Their can art's awesome. I like their logo, and the beer usually sounds really, really good. This one was it's called Paradise Falls. It was a Mai Tai Hazy IPA.
That sounds interesting.
And I have another one in the fridge called Liquid Candy.
Ooh.
So, I mean, they have some interesting stuff. And I've been wanting to try it, and they finally got it over at the liquor store I go to. So I grabbed a 4-pack. I made a variety pack of the different 4 that he got in. But they also look like they also have a cool ass fucking brewery, I guess, that has really, really good food. So I would want to go over there. Yeah. I want to go over there. But yeah, so I had that. This is pretty fucking good. It actually did. I was telling you the hazy. It didn't have that hazy aftertaste. It had more of a fruity aftertaste. So it was really, really smooth and really good.
Interesting.
But the one that's, I guess, going to be my beer of the week is this. This is called Frutaletta Key Lime Pie from Casa Agria.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, Casa Agria is out in Oxnard. Everything I've had from them has been fantastic. I've had a couple of beers and rated them on here before, but this was a Imperial Sour Ale with key lime, lactose, and marshmallows.
Wait, say that again.
So it's an Imperial Sour Ale with key lime, lactose, and marshmallows.
That sounds boozy as fuck.
Dude, boozy?
Yeah, the Imperial.
Oh, no, it's 8%, but I didn't taste the alcohol at all. It tastes like freaking biting. Yeah, it tastes like freaking eating a key lime pie.
Oh, god.
It was so fucking good. But yeah, I mean, this one, it says this Paletta inspired beer. Oh, Paletta. Oh, okay. Frutaletta. I get it. Okay. This says this Paletta inspired beer was brewed with oats, wheat, lactose, key lime, and marshmallows. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. I'm not going to lie. I would definitely buy this again. And if you see it around, this is what the can looks like. Pick it up.
Oh, okay.
Got pictures of limes and key lime pie and marshmallows. Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
So Adam requests that our scale should be the number of kids Barzal could have had before he got speared. Okay. We'll do that mixed with the Moan scale.
Yeah, the Moan scale we do all the time now, Adam.
So what would be your rating on that?
Well, what is the number scale for the Barzal? Because
1 to 5. 1 to 5.
Oh,
5 kids is realistic.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll give this a 5. This was great. I would definitely seek this out. It was really, really good. One of the best sours I've ever had.
What about on the Moan scale?
Fuck. All right.
Chupapi. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What you got?
So I was down in San Diego this whole weekend. I was out there for a wedding. Every time that me and my wife go to San Diego, we have to go to this City Lights. It's It's a Christmas lights store. It's a Christmas store. They have like villages and stuff like that. And I love it, dude. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I fucking love that shit too. But what's right across the street from them? Coronado Brewing.
This is the one. This is the one that's in the not industrial area. But
It's like an industrial area.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's like
On
a little bit
small
north.
street.
It's
Right
a
past
little
the
bit.
freeway.
Yep, a
Yeah,
little bit north of like
I've been to
Old
that
Town.
one a few
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. So I always stop in at Coronado, get a couple beers while she's fucking looking in the store. But I didn't want to get any beers this time because I had enough beers this weekend. So I decided, hey, I'll just pick some up to take home with me. I was looking through their freezer case and I came across this guy from Coronado Brewing. This is Bigger Boat.
Bigger Boat.
It is a hazy IPA brewed with raspberries, blueberries, vanilla, and lactose. The art is by Jack Stricker on the can. He also does a couple of their other can arts that are really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, man, like I've had Coronado Brewing a couple times. It's not really like my favorite. I don't go out of my way like to get Coronado Brewing just because I've had multiple beers from them and I've never been like, oh my God, I need to go out of my way to get this. I would go out of my way to get this. This is very, very good. The blueberries and the raspberries were very present when drinking.
Mm-hmm.
The pour is pinkish, like you said. So, I mean, the raspberries are present. You can tell that they are there. The lactose is very, very subtle. You don't necessarily pick it up. Very, like off the tip. Very drinkable. Like this a lot. If I had to give this, on Adam's scale of how many kids Barzal would have, I'd give it a 4.5. I like it a lot. I would fucking seek it out. I'm not going to drive down to San Diego to get it, but if I see it at my local, bottle shop and stuff like that, I would definitely pick it up. Now, as far as the Moan scale, I'm going to have to give it a oh fuck, It was definitely very good, man. I would like I said, I'm not going to drive to San Diego to get it, but if I see it at my local bottle shop and stuff like that, I'm definitely going to pick it up, dude.
Well, that's a long trek. I mean, it had to be Great Notion to drive 2.5 hours to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I got back in like an hour and a half today, dude. It was awesome, man. The drive back was sick. It just flew down 5.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like Coronado. I've found I really liked Stingray. That was kind of hard to find for a while.
They don't even have that. They don't even have that on tap anymore.
Oh wow.
When I went in their tap room, I was looking at the shit to bring home. I didn't see it.
Hold on, read his comment before I finish.
So was the fifth kid born missing a leg? Yeah, it was half a kid.
Yeah,
he was missing both legs.
Yeah, it was Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
But no, I went to their the tap room on Coronado, the one with the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I got an R&D beer there, and it was a mango IPA, and they rimmed it with tahini.
Ooh, that sounds
fantastic.
Was it good?
Oh yeah, it was one of the best R&D beers I've ever had.
Oh hell yeah! But yeah. as we always say,
yes,
make sure to follow us on all the socials. You can follow us on Twitter at in the NTRL zone, Instagram at itnz.hockey, and then on YouTube in the Neutral Zone Hockey Podcast. You can find me and Daniel on the Neutral Zone Media Show, or Neutral Zone Hockey League Media Show. Sometime this week. Don't know exactly when we're going to record. Wednesday? Okay.
I mean, usually we record Wednesday, but whenever, I guess.
You can find me and Dave on the Zach and Dave Make a Podcast. We might be recording this Thursday coming up. And then you can also find me and Dave on the Dungeons and Dummies podcast on Wednesdays from now on.
Starting this Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we might have to do a media show on a different day this week.
Yep, we can go back to Sundays if you want, because I don't have anything going on Sundays.
Well, we have a draft on Sunday.
Yeah, we can't do that this Sunday. That's right. Thursday would be fun. Yeah, we might be on Thursday.
Yeah, we can do it early.
Something like that. But yeah, man, just make sure to like and subscribe. We don't ever ask people to subscribe to us or anything like that, but if you feel the need to, by all means, we're not going to tell you not to. We do truly appreciate that. But yeah, with that being said, muted. You're muted. I'm gonna hold it for a little bit longer.
With that being said,